Hello, 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 my lovelies. I'm coming to you live from the basement of my mother's house. I don't think I'm going to run super long tonight because I'm still tired from my wonderful weekend of having been out of town and then overdoing it. And uh, case in point. Uh, yeah, I went down to my hometown over the weekend because one of my good buddies, she's gone through some hard times, and I was trying to be there, distract her, get her out of town, get her out of the house, kind of give her a chance to do some stuff that she doesn't normally get to do, and connect her with some other lovely people that I know that would also help when I can. So, because I don't live in town anymore, there's only so much I can do from 4 hours away. So connect her with other people I know that can help her do some things that she needs to do. And today is International Disabled People's Day. So, and because I am disabled people's, and my buddy is too, she's a bit worse off than I am. She's actually fully wheelchair bound, and I mean she's not really all that ambulatory. Her ability to do without a wheelchair goes as far as being able to stand up and sit back down. She can't really walk all that far. She can't really do much of anything outside the wheelchair unless she's laying down in bed. So, and she also needs a lot of uh, help with daily life, a lot. So, yeah. She needs a specific kind of car to be able to get out and about, and she doesn't even have a car at all because she can't afford one. It's not really like she can drive right now anyway, so when you're that physically down, there's so many limits to what you can do and what your body will let you get away with. And Joy, baby, I love you to death, and I am sorry you are stuck where you're stuck. I know that when you have your surgeries after the first of the year, things are going to improve for you, and I can't wait for that. And I will be there for you for that because you are one of the coolest people I know, and I love you so much. It's I started doing this actually because of her, in part. I started doing this because of her, because I know there's people out there like her who need to know that they are loved and they are worth loving. They are worth being loved. They deserve love. I mean, just because you're tied to a wheelchair and just because you need so much help to get through your day, that doesn't mean that you deserve to have your husband go, "Oh, well, I didn't sign up for this," because he married an able-bodied woman and shit happened that made you no longer able-bodied. you shouldn't get abandoned by your spouse because shit happened to you. Well, he didn't sign up for it. Neither did you. You didn't ask for that. You didn't want that. You didn't choose that. Shit happened. That's why when you get married, the traditional wedding vows are for better or worse, in sickness and in health. I mean, to a certain degree, I'm lucky because the man who's married to me, he's only known the me that I am now. He's only known the Samantha who needs help with certain things. The Samantha who can't put her own shoes on or her own socks on because I can't bend like that, because my body does not work like that. He's only known the Samantha who needs help doing laundry because my body does not do that. It will not let me carry the laundry baskets. It will not let me do certain aspects of switching the laundry from the washer to the dryer, getting the basket of laundry from wherever it is to the washer. I can't do that by myself, not anymore. Before my back injury, before the discs were herniated, before the nerve was damaged, I could do all that shit by myself. I could go shopping by myself and not have to worry about, oh, what happens if I get stuck? Oh, what happens if my blood sugar crashes and I can't think straight? Like, I can't, when my blood sugar gets fucked up, I can't think clearly enough to even, oh, what was on my list? What is it that I'm out of at my house? How do I get to the front of the store to check out? I can't do that stuff. And sometimes I don't even have it together enough to be able to call my husband, my mom, and say, hey, come help me. I need help. I can't do this. I need help. I mean, sometimes I can get through it by myself, and sometimes I can't. And there are some things Jane cannot help me with. She can't tell people, hey, my mommy is having problems. She can try to tell me before I start to have a problem, hey, you need to be mindful of what's going on with you. But she can't walk up to a stranger and go, hey, guess what? My mom needs help. Come help my mom. And this is what's wrong with my mom. She can't do that. She doesn't have the ability to verbalize that because, well, she doesn't speak human. She speaks dog. And yeah, she can talk to me and she can let me know, hey, you're about to have this problem. Fix it before you get in a real bad place. But yeah, Colby, he's only ever known me like this. He never knew able-bodied Samantha. He didn't know that me. Do I wish that he had gotten to know that me? Sometimes. But if he had, he'd have something to compare it to. This me to that me. And that's one of the things that Toy deals with her soon-to-be ex. Uh, it's like, you used to do these things. You used to keep house really good. To you used to be able to sweep and mop and keep the house up. Now you don't. And it's like, now she can't. It's now her body doesn't let her do that. because she has damage to her neck. She has damage to her entire spine. It's not localized like mine. It's her whole spine is fucked up because she was abused her entire childhood. I've known Toy for years. And no, we haven't always been friends. There was a time when she was not my friend. There was a time when I didn't really like the person that she was. And I didn't know at the time exactly why I didn't like the person that she was, or why she was somebody, why life made her somebody that I didn't really like. And it's because she was a child who was being abused at home. And she didn't have any power at home. The only place she had power was at school. And so she did what somebody does that has no power in one area of their life. They find an area they have power in and they become a tyrant. And she did. It's that thing that Reese talks about: hurt people, hurt people. It's not really an intentional choice. It's when you are being hurt by somebody and when you don't have power at home, but you can get outside of home and you can get someplace where you do have power, you're going to latch onto that and you're going to use every ounce of power that you can grab wherever you can find it. That doesn't completely excuse what happened, but it makes it understandable and it makes it forgivable because she was a child who was being regularly beaten and tortured by one of her caregivers and somebody that she should have been able to trust and look to for care and compassion and understanding and being taken care of, because that is what children expect from, that is what children need from their caregivers, their parents, their teachers, all of the adults that are around them. And if one or two of those adults that is a part of their daily life that they live with that is torturing them in the bathtub or giving them daily beatings to the point where they have to wear long sleeves in warm weather, long sleeves, turtlenecks, whatever, long pants to cover up bruises so people don't know how bad things are at home. That is a child that is being failed by one of their daily caregivers. And that is so far beyond okay. And there are so many children that go through that they shouldn't. Like, people who don't want kids should not have kids. And there are people like me who desperately want kids, but I can't carry you to term. Hello, PCOS. It's an evil bitch. because it takes and it takes and it takes and it takes. And one of the things that it tends to take is your ability to conceive and your ability to carry a pregnancy. I can carry it in 9 weeks and then that's it, because my progesterone levels don't get high enough to carry a pregnancy to term. Because what carries your pregnancy that first trimester is your progesterone level. If it does not get high enough, you will lose that pregnancy every single time. Because until the placenta forms, what maintains your pregnancy is your progesterone level. And my progesterone level does not get high enough to maintain it. So I can try and try and try all I want to conceive. But without extra support, if I don't realize I'm pregnant until it's too late, well, guess what? I can't get the support I need to be able to maintain that pregnancy, and it's gone. I've gone through that no less than 6 times. And if you've ever been through pregnancy loss at all, you understand that once losing one pregnancy is hard, especially when you knew you were pregnant. That's hard. But 6 times, 6 pregnancies that you desperately wanted that did not last, that is a nightmare. I cannot carry to term. So my choices are limited. We can get a surrogate or we can adopt, because I can't carry. I would love to have a child of my own, but I can't. And yet there are all these people out there who don't want children, who should not have children, that are out there having kids, and they're treating them like Toy got treated. And because they're treating them the way that Toy got treated, there are all of these injured, broken people in this world that they didn't have the benefit of having 2 parents who loved them very much, who showered them with love, who protected them from the bad things of the world, who gave them the things that they needed to grow and become healthy people. Healthy people mentally, healthy people physically, understand how the world actually works, teaching them how to get along in this world. I mean, if you don't have capable people raising you and teaching you how to get along through this world, you are going to grow up to be somebody that is damaged to a degree. And I know that that's my audience. And that's why I tell y'all that I absolutely love every single one of you exactly the way you are. I don't care if you think you're unlovable. I don't care if you think you're broken or you are broken. I don't care. Because you are valuable. You are lovable. You are important. You may not feel important because of the shit that you've been through. You may not feel important because of the shit you're going through. Whether you're having a mental health challenge or you live with a chronic mental health condition bipolar, schizophrenia. There are so freaking many mental health disorders. And hey, guess what? If you have a biological mental health disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, anxiety, uh, there's so many that you're actually neurodivergent. If you have like an actual physical brain difference or a chemical imbalance, brain differences, ADHD, dyslexia, autism, OCD, chemical imbalances, schizophrenia, bipolar, etc. Welcome to the neuro-spicy world, my loves, because you are neurospicy. If you have something with your brain that makes you different from the neurotypicals, welcome to being neurospicy, my beautiful people. Welcome. You are neurospicy, and you are awesome. It is what it is. I mean, some issues can be medicated and corrected that way up to a point. Some issues you just have to learn to accept yourself the way you are. Autism, you just have to learn how to cope. You can't medicate that away. I mean, you can medicate away the depression it causes, the anxiety it causes, but you can't make yourself not autistic. You can't make yourself not dyslexic. You can do things to mitigate the negatives, but you can't make yourself not dyslexic. You can't make yourself not ADHD. You can't make yourself not OCD. You can manage the negatives, but you can't medicate it away. You can't make it stop being. And the same thing with OCD and bipolar and uh, schizophrenia and all that stuff. You can medicate it to manage the negatives. With bipolar, you can take medication to cut down those highs and lows and make it so that you're more normal and your highs and lows aren't as extreme. And like my buddy Chad, you're monopolar depressive, or you're monopolar the other way, manic. You're monopolar manic. It's possible to be that way. And all monopolar is just one half of the bipolar. Is your brain just goes, hey, guess what? We're going to be down. You have the down and you have the normal. Or with uh, monopolar manic, you have completely off the rails or you have normal. And you can medicate that to the point where you have more normal than you have off the rails or depressed, but you can't make it just go away. You will always have to medicate. You will always, for your whole entire life, have to have that. And that's not your fault. That's just the way that your brain was formed. That's just the way it is. And I mean, yeah, there's stuff about that that sucks. There will always be stuff about being neurospicy that sucks way more than what a neurotypical person would have to deal with. I mean, being neurotypical also sucks. I know neurotypical people and they go through shit too. but the shit they go through is just different. They don't have to fight with their brain. They don't have to fight with their body. They don't have to think about, oh hey, should I do that? It is picking up that 10-pound box of cat food a good idea? Is picking up that 50-pound bag of dog food a bad idea? Should I really lift that grocery sack full of cans? Is it a good idea for me to walk to the end of the street and back? These are questions that people who are physically disabled have to ask ourselves. And there are questions that people who are on the autism spectrum, we have to ask ourselves. Like, oh yeah, I have bills I need to pay. How do I remember that? How do I remember when to pay those bills? I don't know when to start and stop tasks. Oh, I'm supposed to go take a shower. Oh. Oh, now it's time for bed. I forgot to take a shower. These are things that we have to deal with that neurotypicals, they just automatically, oh, I need to take a shower. Okay, go take a shower. No, I'm taking a shower. Done. Happy. Over it. But then there's me. Oh, I need to go take a shower, get involved in a task, forget that I need to take a shower, and then it's bedtime and I forgot to take a shower. But now it's too late to take a shower. Oh, I'll get up in the morning and take a shower. It's morning. I get involved in doing other things to get ready. I forget to take a shower. It's time to go to work. I don't have time to take a shower. And my mom and my husband wonder why I don't shower. It's because I forget. It's because I don't have that thing in my brain that tells me when to start, when to stop, how long to do it. Executive dysfunction is a real monster. And there are so many people that live with that. But we have, because we don't have it in here, we have to externalize it. That's why planners, day planners, work for a lot of people. Doesn't work for me because I will forget to use the day planner. I will lose the day planner. Been there, done that. Misplaced it. And then I told myself the ultimate lie. I will remember. I don't need to write it down. Oh, no, honey. No, no, no. Oh, that's yeah, that is the ultimate lie. It's something that us neuro-spicy folks tell ourselves. I will remember. I don't need to write it down. Oh no, honey, always write it down. Find some place and some way to write it down that you will not forget about it. What I have found that works for me is the calendar in this thing. Oh look, who is that on my phone? It's my Janie Jane. But yeah, I go into the calendar and I put my doctor's appointments in my calendar. I have my calendar, on my calendar, I set reminders. On my calendar, I put in my doctor's appointments. My husband puts in his doctor appointments, his other appointments. Oh, look at that. One way or another, this works. And I am going to be a good, good girl. And remember to not forget to take my friendliness pill because everyone likes Samantha when she takes her friendliness pill. Nobody likes Samantha when she forgets. Not even Samantha. Yeah, not even me. I don't like me when I forget my friendliness pill. I'm not a friendly person without the magic little Lexapro. I'm not a nice person. I don't like me. Nobody else likes me. Like, I am not friendly. It's hard to like somebody that's not friendly because their brain is not a happy. So, yeah. Uh, yeah, Toya, she went through shit that no child should have to deal with. And she acted in unfriendly ways. But she also did a thing that many people who have been through the things that she's been through don't always do. They get out of that sphere of influence of the person that was treating them badly when they were a child. And then they learn that the way that they acted when they were being treated that way, the way that they acted towards other people outside their home, they figure out that that wasn't right. And then they're sorry, but they don't know how to get in contact with those people that they treated badly because they were being treated badly. And then they have all of that sad about what they did because they were having bad stuff done to them, but they can't do anything about it. And then somebody, Mark Zuckerberg, invents a thing called Facebook. And then you discover that some of these people that you were not being a good person to are on this Facebook thing. And then you fight with yourself. Do I contact them? Do I not contact them? Well, what if they tell me to fuck off into the forever and that they say no, I don't forgive you? Or uh, what if they behave in a way that I can't predict? And then what happened to Toy? What if they do understand? What if they do forgive me? How do I react to that? Because I don't I want forgiveness, but I don't feel like I deserve it. And then what do you do? And so she contacted me through Facebook and she was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry I was that way. I'm really sorry that I was not a good person to you. And I'm sorry. And this is what was going on with me that caused that." And then it was in my hands and I could decide, okay, do I show her benevolence? Do I show her kindness? Do I show her compassion? Or do I go, well, sucks for you. You treated me like shit, so go to hell. Now, if I'd had different parents, if I'd had parents that didn't believe in compassion over almost everything, that didn't believe in being compassionate towards people who are being treated poorly themselves, who didn't believe that kindness above all is important. If I'd had parents that didn't believe in kindness and compassion above all else, I mean, they never believed kindness and compassion before self-preservation. But when it's somebody is being treated in a way that they can't help, and it's causing them to act in a way that is not nice, that's forgivable. It's not, well, that it was okay that you treated me that way, because that's not true. Being treated badly is never an excuse. And treating somebody else badly because you were being treated badly, that's it's understandable. It's a natural reaction, but that doesn't make it okay. But it's understandable and it's forgivable. If somebody's being a jackass just because they want to be a jackass, that's different. That's her soon to be ex-husband. He's being an asshole because he can be an asshole and he wants to be an asshole. And that's not okay, and that's never okay, and that's never forgivable. And I will never like instigate anything against him. But even though I am physically disabled, I've met him in person. I can take him. Like I am aware of what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. That man I can take down physically. I can take him down, and he'd never expect it. And yeah, but again, I would never instigate anything. I would never take the first step, but I absolutely would fucking finish it, because that's one thing that I learned from my childhood growing up, being treated poorly by others. I had a couple of adults in my life. They weren't primary caregivers, but they did have regular access to me, and they treated me in ways that were not okay. And I've also had other kids, not just Toy, treat me in ways that I didn't deserve, because they weren't being taken care of properly at home, because they weren't being treated the way they deserved at home. And again, when you got somebody that is not being treated and taken care of in the way that they deserve at home, when they find a way to get attention, a way to get power somewhere else, they will. Um, Jean, I'm so sorry that you went through the shit that you went through as a child. I'm so sorry that you didn't have parents that were engaged in your life. And I'm so sorry that it forced you to seek negative attention from your classmates for mistreating your weaker classmates. I am sorry for that. And I do understand why you did the things that you did to me. Again, that doesn't excuse it, but it makes it understandable and it does make it forgivable. It does not ever make it okay. But the reason why you acted that way was because nobody was giving you boundaries. Nobody ever gave you a solid no on anything. Not until you did what you did. Not until my dad forced it. And yes, folks, I will go into this deeper at a later time. I will create and post a video on this. Uh, and I'm not going to go into it real deep right now. But Gina, I understand. And I know you feel terrible about it. But you've hit a point where I forgive you. Now you have to figure out how to forgive yourself. How to make amends to yourself. How to heal that within yourself. Because I can't do that. I can't do that for you. All I can tell you is I understand what caused you to act that. And yes, I love you. Because you were a child who did not have power. And you didn't deserve the way that you were being treated. Because the way you were being treated caused what happened to me. You didn't have anybody that told you no. You didn't have anybody that told you, hey, don't do that. That's not okay. Because you weren't getting what you needed from the adults around you. And that's heartbreaking and that's sad. And that breaks my heart for you. And I don't know what Saban's story was, why she acted the way that she did. But I know there's some damage that happened in her world that caused that behavior. That again caused her to seek me out as a target and to bully me. And here's the fact of life: when you are somebody that other kids, other people can mark as different, you will often get tagged as a target for bullying. Because bullies look for the weak, they look for the kid that's alone, that has no support, or that has limited support, and they will look for the kid that's different. Different how they're new, different how they walk funny, they talk funny. That kid wears glasses, and that's weird. That kid acts weird because they flop their hands or they rock, and nobody else does that. So we're gonna pick on them. We're gonna beat them up. We're gonna do mean, stupid shit to them. Yeah, we're the kids that are gonna get that. And I was the kid that got that. But when I was in middle school and Saban was the person, um, my principal didn't put up with that crap. I told him one time. I only had to tell him one time that she was not treating me well, that she was doing mean things to me, shoving me into doorways, breaking my violin case, shoving me down steps. Only had to tell him one time, and he fixed it. I don't know exactly what he did, what his solution was, but it never happened again. I had to deal with being beaten up by Gene. And this is where the adults in the schools have to take responsibility. They have to take responsibility for the bullies in their care, because most bullies are people that they're not getting something from some aspect of their home life. That is what breeds bullying. Being bullied. If you're a kid, if you're being bullied by other kids, if you're being bullied at home by the adults in your home, if you're being bullied at home by a sibling, all kinds of stuff like that. That breeds bullying. So, yeah, you need to tell the bully, hey, that's not okay. We don't do that. But you also need to find out what that thing that they are missing at home is and fix that. Because you are not going to fix the bully just by punishing the bully for being a bully. To fix the bully, you have to fix the thing that's missing. And until you do that, that is not going to stop it. It's not going to stop. And um, I'm going to talk to Toy, because I just started thinking about it yesterday after I headed home on my 4-hour drive from Bartlesville, Oklahoma to Kansas City. Um, I had the opportunity to think about this. But there is an anti-bullying education campaign called the Bully Project, where it teaches kids that they have the ability to stop that themselves, where it kind of takes the adults out of the equation. Because, yeah, kids have the ability to fix their own problems. Well, maladaptive behavior, which is what bullying is. It's a maladaptive behavior. I'm missing this thing at home. I have this thing at school. I'm going to use it and abuse it at school because I don't have it at home. Well, guess what? Other kids, they can come together and go to that bully and say, "Hey, we don't act like that towards others. That's not okay. What do you need that I can give you that will make you stop wanting to act this way that's not okay?" That's what the Bully Project is. That's what it does. It teaches them that. Okay, Mom, thanks. Apparently, Mom fixed supper because she realized I was down here. Um, that's the kind of mom that's the kind of mom I grew up with. It's like I've been properly taken care of my entire life. I've been properly loved my entire life. In that, I am lucky because I grew up with parents that understood. Yes, she's different. Yes, she doesn't learn the way other kids do. Yes, she doesn't act the way other kids do. Yes, she needs more help with these things. She can't find her shoes. She can't find her clothes. She forgets to shower. She forgets to wash her clothes. She's late all the time. They didn't understand why, because when I was a kid, autism wasn't really well understood. And most of the people that got picked out as being autistic were kids like my client who are nonverbal, act clearly different, high support needs. They can't do a lot of stuff on their own. Those are the people when I was a child that got picked out, assessed, diagnosed, and helped. If you're like me, if you're Aspie, you're capable of figuring out, hey, this is me. This is normal. I'm not normal. If I'm normal, I don't get picked on. I'm going to pretend to be normal as best I can. And by pretending to be normal, it doesn't get noticed how much I don't understand about what's going on because it looks like I understand. I really don't, but it looks like I understand. And by that, I get missed and I don't get help. My parents, they were like, "Well, she's a little different and she does all these things that aren't typical." But that's okay. We will work around them and we will find ways to help her cope with them. And okay, she doesn't learn quite normally. Okay, we'll tinker around with stuff until we find a way that she learns that she can learn this and she can be okay. And they did their best because they loved me and they wanted me to be able to figure out a way to cope in the world. And they helped me find those ways to cope. And they stood up for me when I needed to be stood up for. At least when they realized I needed to be stood up. And I tell mom this all the time now. It's like you can't hold yourself responsible for not knowing what you didn't know. You didn't know what you didn't know, and that's not your fault. I mean, we can be ignorant of all kinds of things. And I mean, if it's not something we're taught about, how can we know to adapt for it? The answer is we can't. Like, if you don't know a thing, you can't blame yourself for not knowing the thing. And so it's like, well, what do you do? But the whole solution to bullying is figure out what that bully is missing, what they're not getting in their home life, or what they're not getting from the adults around them. Once you figure what that thing is, once you know what that is and you correct it, it fixes itself. And then you don't have a bully anymore. You just have a better adapted child that becomes a better adapted adult. Because a lot of times, if you have an uncorrected bully that's a bully as a child and then they grow up, but they're never whatever is causing them to bully is never corrected and they don't go through that aha process that Toy did, that Jane did. I don't know if Saban ever did. I've never heard from her again. Not as an adult. I've never seen her as an adult, so I don't know. But Jane and Toy, they went through that aha process and they were like, oh, shit, this was not okay. And I feel guilty and I feel bad. How do I fix this? How do I make it right? How do I try to make it right? It's like, I'm sorry doesn't fix it, but it does show that you have remorse over it. And being sorry does count. It does matter. Regretting what you did does matter. If you bullied someone when you were a kid, find that person, apologize to them. A lot of times, that heals something in them and in you. It does. It heals things in them, and it will heal things in you. So if you're somebody that ever was like that, that ever did that because you were not getting what you needed at home and you were trying to steal it from people outside of your home because you needed that and you didn't know how to get it otherwise, Go apologize. If you can find them, go apologize. They will probably forgive you. There's equal odds that they won't, but the odds are really high that they will. Because people who are bullied tend to be more compassionate than the average person. Because we understand what it's like to get treated poorly. Now, Toya, I didn't love you when we were kids, but I love you now. Because I know now, and I understand now. And Jane, I probably would have had more compassion for you when we were kids if I'd known. But I didn't find out until we were grown-ups what was going on in your world away from school, in your world at home. I didn't find that out until we were adults and talking to former classmates that knew what went on with you at home. And I am sorry that you went through that because that wasn't right. And my lovelies, like I said, I'm not going to be on here super long tonight because I'm tired and I need to go to bed so that I can take Luke to school in the morning. My goofy, my goofy client. Oh, he's so silly. I love him so much. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna kick off now. And as always, you are loved. You are lovable. You are enough. And I love you exactly the way you are. Whether you're broken, whether you're whole, whether you think you're crazy or you think you're stupid, you're not stupid. You're not crazy. You're just different. And you're wonderful the way you are. And I love you all. Until I see you next time, have a good day. Do something nice for somebody else. And love yourself.
Jane says this dog park thing is great. Yes, is this fun? Yeah? Okay. What you doing, little thing? Oh, we're big tough. We're a big tough little dog, huh? I get that tail. I go and get that tail. I get that tail. I got that tail. Oh, I get the ear. I get the belly. I get the skin. I get that. I get it all. Yeah. Dingo. Cool your jets. We're running the fence with the dogs in the next part of the yard.